Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. We are back on the map Eternal Consequences for match 2 of this like Apprentice League mini series sort of thing we're doing. This match, not a low OS one now because the Apprentice League is open to anyone that wants to join. There's no like OS cap as such. But this one is Lord Vedor versus IENemo. We're just going to call them Nemo just to make it easier. Yeah, and they are currently playing Armada. Vedor is also playing Armada. Now, we've seen Vedor before on the channel quite a bit, so expect great things from him, but we will soon see. Now, interestingly, both players are choosing to go vehicles, and very big difference between what we saw in the match before is that you can see players here are choosing a mixture of winds and solar. The last match we saw, one player went full solar and one player went full wind, and well, they both ended up having problems in different ways, but both of these two players, who are obviously a lot higher OS here, are kind of splitting that between them. Now, you might ask why vehicles, and to be fair, the amount of metal on this map pretty much means you should go vehicles. Like I said before, you do lose out on the crystal eco, but the terrain here, although it looks like it's very hilly, realistically it's mostly flat. As we select an incisor here and on legacy keys press F2, you can see that they can move over these hills pretty easily here with not really any problems. So there's no real reason not to go vehicles with the amount of metal that you're going to be getting. Now, with both players having Armada, we're going to see a mirror matchup when it comes to units again. But most people generally see, I mean, I don't know if this is just me projecting, but see arms vehicles as a little bit weaker nowadays. Blitz is in general seen as pretty much inferior to incisors. Janice is great and all, but everyone likes the pounder. Pounder's just so good. Better attempting to encircle Nemo here in a bit of an early bit of aggression. However, Nemo building this early LLT in the back here, done pretty well. Saying that though, Vedor still gets 2 blitzes in the base here, trying to not get it hit by LLT. Does manage to get the con, which is quite big for this early on. Doesn't manage any other damage though. The metal extractor, pretty low health, but that will delay. Now, whereas on the opposite side here, significant amount of energy gets hit here. We're seeing 3 destroyed wins in total. Not the biggest, I guess, but still enough to warrant a bit of a problem. Almost got the metal extractor as well, but not just yet. That is already getting close to recovering though, building 3 more solars to make up for it. Vedor without a con yet. He's left his base without that constructor, meaning that the vehicle lab currently has nothing to pump out. But to be fair, he doesn't really have the economy to do that just yet, so that's probably why. Rover push, managed to grab a blitz on its way through. But he knows there's more blitzes on the way, and this will be heading over to Nemo's base. Yeah, I was about to say, Vedor with basically no real build power in the base except for this one con now, having to bring his commander back in an attempt to try and stop these blitzes. These blitzes, if Nemo had moved them a bit earlier, would have been able to do some damage, but now, you know, Vedor's already got 2 blitzes and a bunch of scouts. The commander's nearby. Won't be able to do anywhere near as much, and now they're even numbers. When they arrived, Vedor only had a single blitz. Of course, Nemo wouldn't have known that, but it just shows how much hesitation can kind of put you back. Does manage to get a solar, but on the opposite side, all of the rovers get completely mopped up without inflicting anything. Nemo is expanding at a faster rate than Vedor though at the moment, even though they are neck and neck. Nemo is already heading to the next set. He's fully secured it, whereas Vedor is having to refortify his base before he's even able to expand. Going to be behind on metal production now because of that. So Nemo's raids ended up playing off pretty well. Vedor sending out his 5 blitzes here. But there are more units on the way in from Nemo. Double LLT though back here will make it hard to do too much. Trying to rush to get that con turret down, which he has managed. Meaning that this constructor is now free to do what he wants any of the time. Nemo playing it safe. Nothing to worry about yet. No radar up from Nemo though. It does make it a little bit difficult for him to actually work out where the units of Vedor are. Just trying to chase them down right now. Vedor stop microing his units in the enemy base. Oh dear. Vedor losing all of his tanks there for pretty much no value. Just down to micro. Bit of a rookie mistake there from Vedor. Unable to pick up this run by successfully either. I mean, the Blitz won't be able to do anything here. It has to keep running, otherwise it's dead. But, I mean, realistically, they shouldn't be able to close distance. Oh, it's just been left there. Now they will, because it stopped moving. But Vedor now, as you can see here, only just getting to his 3rd triple mechs. Now, Vedor did manage to take out 2 mexes in the back here, even with an LLT defending it, which will kind of put them back to being very close to being even income. But still, metal produced, surprisingly, due to the reclaim, Vedor is actually ahead, even though he's been slower expanding. Vedor does seem to be starting to get a bit more in the groove of things. Now, as we mentioned before, this is the Apprentice League hosted by the Fight Night group. If you are interested in joining it, just head over to the APM's tournament website and you can sign up there. And there's no money involved. It's just very chill tournament, more focused on improving your skills and getting better at 1v1ing than, you know, winning the tournament. So you could argue that people aren't taking it seriously, but if you know, wanting to get into playing these games and, you know, eventually taking part in the big tournaments, then this is where you start. With a wide mix of OSs in it, it's a good way to improve your skills and learn. His blitz is just continuing to just hit each other. 3 left versus 2, but one of them is basically dead, so it's still just 2v2. Meanwhile, though, on the opposite side of the map, we have a great move by Vedor, with forces attacking from both flanks. Now, Vedor doesn't know he's about to run into a minefield, which is a bit of a problem. LLT does go down. Managing to pick up 3 mexes there. This other side running into 2 LLTs did not manage to get much. Will they get around the minefield? Oh, they do get around the minefield, going up high. Question is how much damage are they going to be able to inflict? Defensive LLT goes down. Huge energy damage. Most of this energy production for Nemo now completely destroyed. And Vedor has 4 incisors, 4 blitzes continuing their run. Now with double LLTs down here, it's going to be pretty impossible to get any more. And it does look like with the turnaround there, yeah, they don't manage to get any more value. But tremendously played there. basically all of the energy production of Nemo's gone. He's lost several metal extractors, which have already been rebuilt, so it's not the end of the world. Nemo has the metal extractors here he can eat as well, but still, very valuable attack there, and that has definitely put Nemo on the back foot now for a little while. Starting to be quite a lot of wrecks in the base here of Vedor though. Several wrecks of blitzes all over the place. Maybe we might see a bot lab soon, but I think we're more likely going to see an air lab. Although saying that, Vedor has kind of destroyed all of the energy income of Nemo, as we select Nemo right now. So there's not really much to bomb. He'd be bombing main, maybe going for the build turrets. What does Vedor see? What does Vedor see? Okay, so he knows. I mean, that would be a great bomb line there. Just like that. Damage to melee extractors, energy, battery. But we will see. We'll see. I mean, this would also work, right? Just slightly different. Get a build turret, get the solars here, the winds. That'd be a pretty effective bomb turret, bomb target. And then you just fly around and grab these triple mexes. But we'll see. I don't think Vedor's ready to transition into air yet. Says army value is an advantage to Nemo here. Was. Not anymore. Vedor doing a good job at picking up like small like groups of units, but now he has a bit of a problem as there are 14 blitzes barreling down the center of the map towards his main base, and he has just started building gunships. Free self-destruct on the LLT here. Almost tremendously timed. Desperately trying to eat these blitzers up. Build turrets all going down. Nowhere near as much damage inflicted though there as what was inflicted to Nemo a minute ago. Solar, advanced solar here was almost killed by friendly fire. There's still decent raid, but that has lost a huge army value now. Nemo already has air up and running here in terms of some fighters. Is going to make those gunships pretty useless as one's about to get shot down already. And there we go. With both players being arm, there does seem to be less use for air. Like obviously normally you'd have shurikens, right, for Cortex, which is where you expect to have a lot of air fights going on because of that. The Banshees, I mean, you can see here, are just getting shot down by blitzes. Oh, you don't even need AA units. You just need to shoot them with the blitzes. If the blitzes actually go for them. There you go. Vedor now attempting, as you can see on the minimap, another combined assault from multiple sides. This time does manage to break through the defensive line on this right-hand side. Has now idled these units as he's paying attention to the units on the opposite side, which he knows is a minefield there, yet he just pushed through it anyway. As he was waiting for those others to arrive, beamers have been built now in defensive positions around the base. How much damage is he going to be able to do with two beamers in base? That is the question. Parking them right next to the factory here in attempt so they can't get shot by the beamers. In theory, if he hits enough energy here, the beamers will just stop working, but Not enough. Again, does some decent damage here. All the build power survived though. So should be able to get back on track pretty quickly. Nemo has built a very, well, I say very forward. Has built a slightly more forward vehicle lab over here. A slight misstep on that blitz there means that he gets shot. Trying to focus the LLTs down, where I would surprise you wouldn't just focus the solars down, but that guy's gonna slowly get shot to death. And goodbye. So as we look at the stats, let's look at the numbers, shall we? Energy is second. Vedor is behind. Matla second is all over the place right now due to Reclaim. Build power, Vedor is ahead. Metal produced is very, very close with about 1,000 in it, probably less than that. Energy produced total is neck and neck. No player has really got any access, and army value right now is technically in the lead by Nemo, but that is because Vedor did just throw his army at Nemo to inflict damage, so, you know, kind of expected. Surprisingly, though, damage dealt by both players is even almost, with the fact that Vedor is losing a couple more units now, just popping them over the edge. But we see vehicle production here switching out from Vedor into Stouts Janus with a Whistler there just to deal with any gunships. Nemo, on the other hand, as we press shift 10 here, just still shift 10. I'm on about shift space. Still going the blitz push meta here. So we'll see how long these blitzes handle once they start running into some more advanced units. All these tanks on hold fire. Oh dear. They're all on hold fire, which is also why there was big problems going on there. Now what we are missing is a blitz is able to get some expansion cons up there on the top. And Vedor kind of making a bit of a mistake there, going in with his army, getting absolutely decimated by these blitzes. Now 27 blitzes. Surprised Vedor didn't lose that constructor there. The Janus volley, though, only picking off one and will now get destroyed before getting close. Loads amounts of LLTs being chucked down here in defense, but it does look like Nemo's just going to go around and try and pick up the side mexes here instead of actually going for main, which makes sense. Part of me would maybe think about just running this army out. Yep, that's what he's doing, actually. I was like, you're not going to get much more value continuing to push in when there's more unit production being had. So now's maybe a good time to just run with this army and regroup, which is exactly what he's doing. Picking up some metal extractors on the way, continuing to move. May also pick up an expansion con if he's quick here. Yes, he does. Oh, but surprisingly, Nemo doesn't continue running. He turns it around and will end up now with this entire army getting wiped, which is a bit of a mistake here. Although what that has done is it has opened up a hole for a second blitz push here. Now there are a lot of defenses here. I don't know sure what Nemo can see. One LLT goes down as well as two mexes. And with 3 blitzes left, they are moving into an energy wall here. This is spaced evenly enough so that they don't kill each other straight away. Loses 3 wind turbines. that last unit will get mopped up. But it does kind of seem that Vedor is pushed pretty far back here. We can see that Nemo has kind of spread out to here, give or take, right? And then Vedor's like this, give or take. Like, he'll recapture this pretty quickly, which is why I've given him that. And then this kind of area is a bit, I'd argue, neutral at the moment. Not able to safely claim it as his. Oh, Vedor needing more units out has actually switched back to blitzes. But still, Vedor down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 man extractors. That's quite a big difference here. They are trading just army for army though right now. Like, they'll just throw their entire army in and it's just like, yep. Ooh, this may be bad timing for this push of Vedor's though, as another decently sized stout force is in the center. Oh, the stout force actually turning around, maybe trying to bait it into the beamers here. Rebuild power just getting destroyed here. Is Vedor diving the beamers? No, but he's trying to delay any more expansion into the center. There's 4 contours? 4 constructors there though. And they're going to get that reclaim very quick and get more beamers down here. Now the metal extractors in the center are worth more than the metal extractors on the edge, and this harass from Nemo just seems to be so constant that Vedor's struggling to keep up here. Vedor actually now deciding to transition to Tech 2 instead, hoping that Tech 2 will be the savior that he needs. Using everything he has at his disposal here at the moment to just defend. This force gets tidied up, but still with more stouts in the center. Using his commander here to build LLTs, but we all know how well LLTs hold up to stouts, and that is not very well at all. So although they will be a bit of a deterrent, they will not stop this tank force. Just delay the inevitable somewhat. And Vedor is now in the dangerous position where he's gone Tech 2, unit production has stopped. He is hoping that he can just hold out with what he has until these Tech 2 units start rolling off the production line. And he has forced this tank force back in the center for now, but we can just see that the LLTs on the side slowly getting whittled away, getting closer to this dangerous flank at the bottom. And now the unit production starting to come out from Vedor. The Jags having to reclaim some LLTs here so that he can actually make a path when he does go to bulls. Okay, so they haven't been spotted just yet, but as soon as the Jags do get spotted, they're going to get notified. And there we are. T2 unit detected. Quite a few Jags in such a short amount of time. Trying to keep them alive, and now they walk into just a mass of LLTs. And although they will take quite a few of them out, the commander is just here, so should be able to build this back up pretty quickly here. Only actually losing a single metal extractor there. Did lose obviously quite a few LLTs. Loses the radar, but the Jags putting a stop to the push along the bottom. And you got to remember that how much metal now is actually being left on the field as well. 700 are there, 1,000 there. It's all going to start adding up. And that is exactly what Vedor just needs to chuck into his Tech 2 economy now. As we switch over to Nemo quickly. No Tech 2 planned at all from Nemo. Okay. So now Vedor has this very narrow window where he is Tech 2, his opponent isn't. Oh, okay, there we go. I was about to say, a time between when Nemo decides to go Tech 2 or he doubles down on Tech 1, and it looks like Tech 2 is the answer as Nemo is building that himself. The question is Vedor going to be able to make as big an impact with this early transition as he hopes? Oh, the EMP. Wonderful. Half the Jags just get caught in that EMP explosion, and that is extremely damaging to Vedor. He's going to try and continue pushing with these Jags, hoping to draw off these stouts, but that's a big loss for Vedor. It is working. These stouts are chasing him. Run into mines. Oh, so many mines. Oh, and just a single Jag left. And mine? No. So in that whole army, only a single Jag managed to make it in, which is now going to get killed by a beamer. I say, yeah, needing the balls. I mean, the fact that fighters are this close to Vedor's base, you would never expect to see that. So much reclaim here. Oh, there we go. A bot lab, res bots. Okay. Oh, where the... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, where is this bot lab? Yeah. Vedor needs that right now. He's probably going to... Oh, he's eating it all. Get more Tech 2, I guess. He does have the energy. He could res this stuff rather than reclaiming it, but I think maybe he's realizing that Jags are already kind of not as useful anymore, and he'd just rather have more bulls. Across the other side, bulls are also coming out from Nemo with Tech 2 being built. So bearing in mind the last game we watched, it was already over at this point. So same map, just different players, and you can just see how long that this match can go for. Jags versus Bulls are obviously a very short lifespan for the Jags, but able to get quite a lot of that reclaim, now running away. But I don't know. It's going to be tough for the... what the... Uh-oh. What's Vedor cooking? Vedor has blocked his Tech 2 lab. He's eaten his Tech 2 lab. He is definitely going for some type of ballsy play here. Now, as both players have gone Tech 2, the unit production numbers are obviously going right down. And a Tech 2 airplay is coming out here from Vedor, even though he has no air superiority at all. Now, bear in mind that Vedor has not built air pretty much the entire game. Ooh, Nemo. Well, I hope you wanted all that build power, because you got it now. Oh, and here we go. Without any fusions or anything, atomic bombers are coming out from Vedor. This is kind of a bit of an all or nothing play here. What is he going to bomb, though? Surely he's going to go for the commander, right? I mean, he doesn't need atomic bombers to go for the commander, though. Main base gets all these A-solars. Oh, he's about to lose all of his units. So whatever he's going to do, he needs to do quick. As these bulls are going to march their way down the center of the map. Now Vedor is trying to fake aggression here by basically still moving units that have been rezzed around in an attempt to try and like feign ignorance. Spy plane, atomic bombers, and fighters. Oh no, but one atomic bomber's already dead. Oh dear. Oh, the atomic bomber first going for the Tech 2 units on their way in. Yep, that makes short work of that. Fighter force flung forward in an attempt to just grab any of the fighters as they were. Vedor going for a second atomic bomber, looking for that commander. Tech 2 lab gone. Now what are you going for? Build power? Yep, and fighter factory's gone. Fighter factory, air lab. Oh, he landed it. I don't know if that was intentional, but he landed the atomic bomber so that the fighter would fly over it instead. If that was intentional, that was tremendous. Whether it's just going to get killed now, though. Does manage to drop the energy conversion as the fusion goes up. Now, Nemo with no factories left. Pushing in with balls that he's got at the back. I think the beamers here should end up being enough. Yeah, it gets an energy conversion, but it's not the end of the world. More units on their way in, but with 2 atomic bombers already here nearby, they should be enough to kind of stop this force as they slowly march their way in. It's like, what do you do right now? Nemo's obviously had to rebuild his Tech 2 factory in this back area. Let's actually have a look, shall we? Yep, T2 has been rebuilt with Flax being pushed now straight away. Gone fully defensive. Having to rebuild his air lab here as well, but with 2 more atomic bombers already on their way in. He's looking for that commander. The chainsaw there as well. Going for the chainsaw. No, going for the fusion next. And both atomic bombers killed. Third one on its way in. We may be seeing... Oh, it's going for the fusion. Does not manage to drop its bomb in time. And with the amount of AA there, the atomic bombers are starting to look a little worthless. And as the spectator says, yep, T3 gaming soon, maybe?
Battle paused.
Okay, it looks like Vedor's planning to eat his factory here. He's prepping a metal storage, so I'm expecting... Yep, there we go. Probably an eat of this air lab and the start production of Tech 3. See, all the build power is already ready to go. What this has now done, though, is this has now basically made it so that Nemo is going to invest a lot into AA, which surprisingly, I was about to say he hasn't really, but he does have two chainsaws, Black Terror. He's built a bunch of Flax. And although still saying that, Vedor does not have great map control this match. There's not that much difference between them. Look, there's only 4 metal difference between them. And here comes the Marauders, though. What will Nemo do to stop Marauders? Apparently just sit them just out of range of beamers is what he's going to do. And that Marauder wave is coming out pretty quick. Try and keep an eye on a fresh one that gets built and try and work out roughly how long it's going to take. I mean, it said 18 seconds there for a short while. About 2 minutes, but look at the tick spam coming out now as well. That'll cover the Marauders. And it's going to be hard for Nemo. He's trying to get counter tick spam up. But he is losing ground quickly now as these Marauders push in. Taken out of the air lab. Not that that really matters anymore. One Marauder died to ticks. Now he does have a fusion, so these A-Solars aren't that big of a deal. Although they are still kind of, you know, a disappointment to lose. But bear in mind, while these two Marauders are doing their thing, slowly getting killed, there is a mass of them forming. As we can see over here, 5 Marauders already ready to go. With more and more of them coming out. Realistically, Vedor needs to start clearing up some of these sides, trying to get some of the reclaim up, but no. And right now, I think it's just to try and win while you can, before your opponent gets the stuff that can deal with Marauders. What? Balls. Resbots are up here behind the Tech 3, ready to grab that metal. There's not really enough tick spam to counter the tick spam of Nemo, though. Pop-up turret goes up, it just to die instantly. Resbot's not being used to heal here, but to actually res the units in the back. So, oh, they were. Looks like he's changed his mind, just eating everything instead. Probably makes sense. He's not expecting to stay here for too long. But it's quite funny when you look at it, like, all of this area over here is just like owned by Nemo, but Vedor's just like pushed straight past it, ignoring it completely. Tick spam able to get on top of the Resbots. Not enough of his own tick spam, clearly, from Vedor. And surprisingly, he's not going in. He's got 13 Marauders. Nemo has 6 bot labs, 5 of them producing, or 4 of them producing ticks, and 1 producing horns. And here we see a Janus about to land. Juno, rather. I think that's maybe what he's waiting for. Counters out the spam. But he shouldn't push in. Yeah. What are you thinking? He pushes in, loses all of his own tick spam, which, to be fair, I guess is fine because he knows there's no opponent tick spam, but still, like, so many of his own ticks dying to friendly fire. And this is just going to be way too much for him to stop. As we quickly switch over, though, 4 bulls did manage to make it into the back, getting rid of 4 metal extractors, but will get mopped up pretty quickly. Most importantly, though, is these Marauders that are now starting to run into Starlights, but a little too late, unfortunately, as the Starlights are just walking right into the Marauders. Focusing on that build power, and now focusing on a fusion and attempt to get the fusion. The fusion does go down, taking out 2 of the bot labs as well. And it's still not technically over. There's about to be a 3rd cloakable fusion, which makes it harder for Vedor to do anything here. But those bulls actually managed to do a decent amount of damage, taking out huge swathes of wind turbines. But when you're already like Tech 2 and you've got multiple fusions up, are they really that valuable? Not really. You can already see if Vedor is actually eating his advanced solars here in an attempt to get some back. Juno's now landing. Hoping to delay any tick spam, but there's not really any tick spam left. Nemo now with basically no vision of his base area at all. He's still got this top corner. I would have liked to see Vedor spread out a bit more and try and find his like opponent's eco at the sides. Maybe that's what he's about to do now, but he was focused obviously on the most important thing, which is denying. Also, with these being cloaky mexes, unless you walk on top of them, you don't really see them. And still didn't get that. I think the use of cloaky mexes here has actually paid off quite a lot for Nemo. He's down quite a bit now due to the amount of Tech 2 metal extractors that Nemo does not have in comparison to Vedor. But still, they've kept these extra metal extractors alive for a considerable amount of time. Marauders easily now defending this. Same up there. Marauders starting to lose their viability though, attacking base with a mixture of starlights and pop-up turrets, making it a bit more difficult to push in. With also a lot of bots here to res Marauders. Nemo's about to have his own Marauders. This is still going to be tough. Nemo's playing a losing game here. Needs to come up with some plan of attack rather than of just plan of defense, which is exactly what's happening. You can see that finally these metal extractors in the corner, or at least the defenses, have been seen. There you go. Maybe Vedor now realizes, oh, maybe he's actually just going, you know, invisible mexes everywhere, which he is. And as Nemo starts losing those metal extractors, the difference between economies is going to start compounding considerably. You got to think of it this way. Nemo had, like, you know, we're talking 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 extra mexes for a very long time that were all just cloaky mexes. Now we do see a Tech 3 lab of his own being built by Nemo. Waves of ticks. That is drawing his target circle. I think Marauders are going to be quite enough to get there now, though. And as expected, yep, Razorbacks now coming out from Nemo. That's exactly what he needs to deal with these Marauders. I'm surprised we're not going to see a similar thing from Vedor. Oh no, Vedor. Vedor, what have you done? Vedor has changed his plan entirely and is now going mass Tech 1 bombers. Juno's being used to deny vision for Nemo here as this prep begins. Nemo, we're about to be with 2 Razorbacks. So 2 Razorbacks and a few Marauders now. There's only... Well, there's 2 flak. So these bombers are going to have to be spread out. I wonder where he's going to bomb, though. I don't think he's seen the commander. And with all the like fusions being cloaky... Be interesting. Actually, what does Vedor see? Okay, we knows what the pop-ups are. Knows what the flaks are. So we got some strat bombers, some tech 1 bombers, a bit of a mix. And here comes the airwave. This has to be successful. All on the build power. Now on the Tech 3 factory. Is it enough bombers to take out the Tech 3? No. Oh dear. There's a massive throw from Vedor here. Bombers are not getting in. And now we have Razorbacks, Marauders, Starlights, Bulls, Blitzes, everything piling down into the center. Bear in mind that Vedor has no more production of these units. Every Razorback kill is 1 more unit that isn't coming back. Oh, but the atomic bomber, fresh off the production line, hits that Razorback hard. And it needs to come in for another wave quickly. Boom. There goes the Razorback. Now, there is still more stuff here. But nothing really of that much threat when you've got an atomic bomber flying around. Yeah,
Battle ended.
Kind of memeing towards the end there, but Vedor hadn't been attacked for quite a while, and you can just see him slowly scaling up. He's scaled up so much that, you know, he can just get so many units out. It's not really a problem. If he actually wanted to win the game properly, he could have gone over to Tech 3 and pushed out some Titans and maybe just called it there, but fun game though. Good back and forth for quite a while. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to check out the next video, and I'll see you all next time.